Since our first science classes in elementary school, we've been taught that a large amount of all life on Earth exists in the oceans, lakes, rivers, and streams. Exactly how large that proportion is still unknown. And while we do know that water comprises about 70% of the Earth's surface, due to their depth, not all marine life species have been identified. In the past few years, however, there are species that have been discovered and threaten to disrupt marine commerce everywhere, and especially in the Great Lakes. We are talking about microbes, microorganisms that live in and feed on steel structures in the upper level of the water column. These microorganisms create a rust dome on the steel that provides them with an environment to actively corrode and deteriorate steel sheet piling.
It's always been assumed in the Great Lakes that steel sheet piling uncoated would last at least 50 years in the Great Lakes, 40 to 50 year period. The discovery here in Duluth Harbor was in 1999. We were replacing steel sheet piling in Superior Entry. And as we were removing the old sheet piling, we realized that there was some serious corrosion issues in the splash zone of the sheet piling that we were removing. It's not just the Great Lakes, it's a global issue. And it's referred to as an iron-reducing microbe. The next step after that was to get the harbor to recognize and realize that there was an issue that needed to be addressed. The Port Authority was sort of leading the charge with the Corps of Engineers on recognizing that we've got an issue here.
With the introduction of these microbes, the longevity of steel sheet pilings has been reduced to just 50% of their intended life. Dock owners all over the Great Lakes are faced with the costly replacement of steel sheet piling in order to keep up with the demands of marine commerce. However, there is another, less disruptive and less costly solution: marine coatings.
We started Marine Coatings LLC as the company to import coatings from Europe. We chose AQUAPURE as our selection for coatings. Its durability and longevity far exceeds anything else on the market to this date. So we've become the importer for AQUAPURE marine two-part epoxy coating, and we are the sole distributor for the Great Lakes region in the U.S.
The application of AQUAPURE coating can add decades of life to steel sheet pilings. Although it requires some very specialized equipment, the application process is relatively simple. The Marine Coatings Company first cleans and prepares the surface by sandblasting. Once the face of the metal is free of all corrosion, the AQUAPURE coating is applied by preheating the product and applying it with a plural component pump. AQUAPURE can also be applied to steel sheet piling in place below the surface of the water. That process, however, is a bit more involved. It requires not only specialized equipment, but also a great deal of innovation.
And with the combination of our own ingenuity and the help with some local engineers, we designed a cofferdam that is, we feel, quite effective and efficient at dewatering. It allows us to put this cofferdam on the face of the steel sheet pile wall in place, pump the water out of it, allow our paint crews to go in and sandblast and coat the AQUAPURE. We allow the coating to set, and then we reflood the cofferdam, moving it down the line in a systematic and cost-effective method.
Cofferdams have to be built to strict standards to withstand the rigors of the marine environment. 2 cofferdams work side by side to hold back water pressure equaling 1,000 pounds per square foot against the cofferdam walls, as well as approximately 100,000 pounds of uplift.
Once the AQUAPURE coating has been applied, it takes less than 10 minutes at 70 degrees Fahrenheit for the paint to cure.
Though the application process of AQUAPURE may seem expensive, dock owners find it to be an appealing and effective option to replacement of sheet piling. Chad Scott of AMI Consulting Engineers of Duluth says, "Right now coatings are our best remediation option for steel sheet piling in the harbor. It's a good way to slow or even stop corrosion. Coatings usually run about 20% of the cost of replacing steel pilings and can buy dock owners 20 years of time."
This stuff is so tough that it holds up well to the ice abrasion that we see regularly here in Duluth Superior Harbor. And it's also so durable that it cannot even be removed with a torch.
For more information